What up, what up, what up, what up? This is like the fourth take. I just keep rambling on, but anyway, I want to talk to you about the Can-Am Ryker. I want to talk to you about aftermarket parts, etc. So first on the Can-Am, today we are going to be doing the rims. We're going to be doing the rims. Now I was going to go with like a PPA, the company PPA, and their rim selection. I'm not impressed. The only reason why I like their rim selection is because, and only because, I mean, they're just different. That's it. I mean, there's nothing really special about it other than they are another option. Right now, there are no rim options for the Can-Am Ryker. Now, for the Can-Am Spyder, you have plenty of options. The Can-Am Spyder, to me, is kind of like the Polaris Slingshot. It's got a ton of mods available for it. Now, I remember when the Slingshot first came out, and I was interested in it. I was in Germany. And I was a little upset because I was like, well, let me just wait for like 6, 7, 8 months. Let me wait for a little while and see if anybody is going to be able to come out with some type of, good aftermarket selection. I was disappointed. It took forever, and it didn't really seem like there was a clear there's going to be a clear path for aftermarket mods on the Slingshot. So I just said, you know what? Let me put the Slingshot on the back burner until I feel like it's worth grabbing, because there's so much things I want to do to it, and there's nothing really out. So fast forward to today. There seems to be a lot of mods for the Polaris Slingshot. Now, what I'm kind of upset about when it comes to Can-Am is Can-Am, in my opinion, they're kind of like, they made the Ryker, I don't know if it was an afterthought or somebody's bright idea to come out with something cheaper, but can offer the same amount of fun, if not more, on a cheaper vehicle. And the reason why I say that is because, for me, when the Spyder came out, I thought it was very goofy looking, but I realized that a lot of senior citizens, a lot of older people rode them. I didn't really see young people riding Can-Am Spyders. Now, I don't know if it's because of the look or because of, I think a lot of it has to do with the look. I think they just attracted a more senior population to its product. There's nothing wrong with that. So, looking in to the Spyder, same way, I realized that it wasn't necessary for me, and that's because I always saw the Spyder RT and the Limited, all this stuff with all the bags and luggage all over it. It's not my style. So when I first started seeing people with the F3 without all the bags and stuff on it, I thought it looked really, really cool. And that's the thing that I saw a lot of people online riding. I had no idea that the vehicle could look like that. It reminds me kind of like a Hayabusa, bulky, thick, but fast. You know what I'm saying? And it looks fun to ride. So it's just so expensive, and I feel like the Ryker sits in the perfect spot as far as pricing, that someone who would want to experience a three-wheel ride without feeling like they're riding an Oldsmobile, the Ryker's perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's got attitude. It's got it's different. Somebody there said, you know what, this is a great idea. Let's make a super sporty, almost off-road, but make it on-road legal to ride. I mean, the thing is just fucking fun. And the only thing that frustrates me, again, like now, is the lack of aftermarket parts. It's been out for 2 years, I understand, but I just feel like there's so many areas that Can-Am could be really, really, you know, rolling in the dough, I would say, if they were partnering with other companies to bring out more aftermarket parts, or if other companies would be jumping on the bandwagon to be making aftermarket parts. I don't think anybody at this point, besides like Sling Mods, is really thinking about the future of the Ryker as far as aftermarket parts go, in my opinion. Can-Am could easily partner with another company who makes rims. Let's just say, for example, BBS. Let's just say that. Why aren't they partnering with other people to make better options for their products? I don't understand. To me, the number one seller right off the bat would be rims. The rims, like I said, the only people that are offering rims is PPA, and their rims look pretty dope. I'm just looking for better options. I feel like one of the options as far as rims go, I personally like the deep dish look, or I wouldn't say the deep dish look, but the deep look of the rear tire, especially on the 600. I love that rim. I wish you can get that same style rim on the front, and I wish that you could make the front wheels thicker, just like the back, like a big, beefy, kind of like my 48. Big wheel up top, big wheel in the back. Kind of looks like a fat boy. I personally like that look, but you can't do it because Can-Am is.
Hello, I'll be right with you.
All right, thank you. Can-Am is very proprietary, so you don't have rim options. There's a lot of parts that, if you want them, you have to basically customize them yourself. Speaker systems, you got to do that yourself. If you want a different HUD, you're gonna have to figure out how to do that yourself. There's so many different things that you have to do yourself. They made a cool bike, but they made a bike. The bike is pretty naked.
Yes, I have a order.
Hi, can I get just a sausage biscuit?
2 pints sausage biscuits and what else?
That's it.
You said that's it?
Yeah, just a sausage biscuit.
425 second window.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So that's the frustrating thing with owning the bike, is that the selection of aftermarket parts is so limited that you kind of start seeing everybody with the same mods. The only other option that I see people doing different with their bikes right now is the paint. I mean, the paint is what truly separates anybody's bike project from the other, is the paint. And because everybody has to go out and get the same suspension. Everybody's got to go out and get you know, the same stuff that they offer at Sling Mods. So even though you can make your bike custom to you, it's just not a lot of options. So that's why I'm doing the rims first, before I move on to the body, painting the body. I'm using Dip Your Car parts, dipyourcar.com parts for my rims. They have wheel kits, they have car kits. I'm gonna start off with the wheel kit, and I'm gonna do the rims and the accent pieces the same color, because it matches with the black just pretty well. and then I will let that sit for a little while until I decide on the color that I want for the bike, because there's just so many colors that I want. I can't make up my mind, so I'm going to do the rims first, and then try to pick a color that complements my rims and accent pieces after the fact. So I'm going to do that first. I feel like if it's almost any other part that I really want to do on the bike, it's the rims, just because it makes it stand out much more than the standard look. So rims first. I have the exhaust coming either today or tomorrow. I got a baffle. I ordered a universal baffle that goes into the downpipe of the exhaust. So once you separate it, you take the exhaust off, and then you just have the downpipe. You put the universal baffle inside the downpipe and connect everything back together, or put your new exhaust on to quiet down the exhaust. Now, I bought that in preparation of getting this Trill exhaust. I also bought the Trill exhaust with the silencer tip option. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because A, I don't want it too loud. I want it loud enough, but I don't want it too loud. So what I want to do is I'm gonna throw the baffle in there. And I'm gonna hook everything back up, and then I'm gonna test how loud it is, right? Obviously, if it sounds fine, I'm gonna leave the tip off, the silencer tip off. If it sounds too quiet, I'll take it apart again and I'll remove the baffle, and I'll just roll with the exhaust. And if I think it's too loud, then I'll just put the tip. But I wanted to try that just in case I don't want to install something that I'm going to regret and be like, oh, it's too loud. I don't want to even have that option. So also, what I don't want is, I don't want to eliminate the back pressure. When you get like a 3-inch exhaust or whatever, you're going to lose a little bit of back pressure. Back pressure is good. Don't let people fool you and tell you that it's not. Back pressure is good. It gives you that torque feeling when you hit the gas. If it's wide open, then usually you feel like you're losing power, but that's not how it is. So back pressure is good. That's what I'm gonna do for that portion. And really, I think that's about it for the bike, man. I mean, I'm gonna do like some end links at some point, but everything else is pretty much good. I mean, the bike is great. I might do like some some grips later on. Yeah, I might do grips later on. Oh, I'm also gonna do my hand guards too. I'm gonna take those off today and prep those today. I'm gonna do those today as well. See how those come out, because you don't really touch them, so I think that'd be a nice addition to spray those. Give it a different look. And like I said, I'm going for a custom look. I just want a custom look. I don't want something that's I want something different. So that's the plan. Today I got my coffee, gonna get my food, we're gonna partake in that a little bit, and then we're gonna get started on the bike. Now, how I'm gonna film this is I'm gonna set up my camera to try to fit a good angle and to capture some of the footage of me doing one tire. And then I'm just gonna cut to when I'm prepping. I'll probably get some footage of when I'm blacking it out, and then I'll cut it, get some footage when I'm actually spraying the color, and then I'll cut it and then catch, more cinematic type footage, B-roll of the finished product. Sunday, Monday.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Two sausage biscuits.
Yes.
$4.25.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How y'all doing this morning? The grind. So yeah, I think, and then at the end I'm gonna cut it, get some B-roll footage of the finished product. Now I'm just gonna show one wheel. The other angle that I might show is I'm gonna capture with the GoPro while I'm doing it. Don't know how long the GoPro is gonna last, so yeah. But anyways, I'm not gonna show me doing every single wheel. I'm gonna show you me completing one wheel and then the reveal at the end. You'll be able to see it all done. That's the plan. I know a lot of people do mods and stuff like that, and a lot of people don't film, but I want to film my journey of customizing this bike, and you know, it's fun and therapeutic for me as well. And I think this is probably going to be some of the last things I do before just leaving the bike alone for a little while. Just like I said, there's not many available things to do to the bike at the moment. You know, I want to address the audio situation. I want to address the paint situation and the rim situation, which I'm doing now. And other than that, it's the exhaust. Now, there was one other thing that I'm still contemplating, and that is the headers from Silver Turbo. Oh shit, bird almost flew in here. I am contemplating doing those headers, and the reason being is because removing the air box, literally the way the bike is designed, which is amazing, is the header is right there. The header's right there, man. It's right in front of your face. You know, the only thing that would be tough to get to is the bolts. And you might have to take off some of the top panels to get to the top bolts. But I think if I took that off, I don't even think I'll put the heat shield back on. I don't think I'll put the heat shield back on it. I think I would maybe wrap the pipes. Probably wrap them. Yeah, I would probably wrap them. Maybe. Or just leave it naked. I would just wrap it, put them back on there, and put the downpipe, put that and then connect it to the exhaust. I thought about it. Like I said, the only reason why I'm on the fence about it is because I've done headers on vehicles before, and while they do work as far as they open up more air, I think the Silver Turbo headers are 3-inch versus the stock, which is probably like 2 1/4, 2 1/2 or something like that. I've done it in the past, and while it does what it's supposed to do, it does let out more exhaust. It's more free, less restricted, louder, and it gives you a pretty decent top end. I feel like if you're gonna do headers and exhaust, even if you just did the exhaust, I think you can get a big difference if you do the headers, exhaust, and intake. As far as performance goes, I think that would be a good increase, but you would need a tune. You have to get a tune. And I'm wondering if, here, my thing is this: if you got a tune, how much better is it actually going to be versus a stock tune? Now, I know they can tweak the numbers a little bit when you start getting the airflow, air ratios, air intake ratios, and stuff like that, air fuel ratios. But
right,
thank you so much. Appreciate it. Oh, can I get a grape jelly?
Great, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
You have a good day.
You too. Saturday. So yeah, so what I was gonna say was, you can get some decent numbers from a tune. You know, even if you just throw it on there, it's not going to really necessarily mess up anything. If anything, your air fuel ratio would be a little off. You might get some popping. Might get some. You might be lean a little bit. You might be a little lean, but you have to like kind of look at that as you go. But honestly, I feel like unless you got bigger injectors, I don't think you can really get a proper tune unless you add like bigger injectors, because you're gonna, when you're freeing up all that air restriction, you're letting more air out, you're bringing more air in. That's the whole point, right? To make it faster and give you more horsepower. But if you can't give it more fuel, then you're not really doing anything. You're actually hurting your system versus making it better. Does that make sense? Because if you're too lean, you can mess up your car, right? You can mess it up. Too rich, you can mess it up. Something's wrong. So when you tune it, I feel like you have to have it tuned. You should have it tuned with bigger injectors, because you're putting all this potential on your bike, but if you can't give it enough fuel, then you're not really giving it the best chance to be better. I don't know if there are bigger fuel injectors available for the Ryker yet. Now, I'm sure that there's some type of compatible bigger fuel injector that you can put on the Ryker. Haven't heard anybody talk about it or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure there is. Now, I also think that this is probably going to be one of the next biggest horsepower addition to the Ryker. I feel like this is going to be the next biggest one, and because people are going to realize you can only get so much out of what you put on there. Adding capability of adding more fuel means your performance is going to go up. It's just my opinion. It's not really an opinion, it's just the truth. Whenever you do these things to cars, this is the same path that you follow down when you have cars. I did the same exact thing, especially with my Audi. Once I added the headers back, I did the header back, 3-inch tubing, new air filter, blah blah blah, cold air intake, all that. It did really, really well without a tune. When I got a tune is because I then changed out my turbo to a bigger turbo, slightly bigger turbo. People don't know how to fucking drive. Changed it out to a bigger turbo, and once I did that, the entire dynamic of the car changed. Even without the tune, it had way higher top end, mid-range top end, but I suffered in the low end because there was no more restriction, no more back pressure to create that, that low end torque. So it felt slower, especially with the turbo lag being a bigger turbo. Everything changed, and I didn't like it at first. I really didn't like it, and I thought, you just put a bigger turbo on there, it'll be fine. But I didn't realize your low end was gonna change so much. So after I did that, I eventually got a real tune with the new turbo and everything on there, right? And what is the first problem that I run into? First problem that I ran into was they were able to tune it great as much as they could with what was there, but the car kept running lean. And they were saying, basically you got all this stuff on there, but the car needs more fuel. You got to change the injectors. So I had to go back, get upgrade to bigger, better injectors. And once I did that, they were able to tune it correctly, get a correct air to fuel ratio, and it was just a beast, man. It was a beast after that. You know, it was a real beast. So that's why I said all that to say this: when we start changing parts of the vehicle, as far as like headers, getting that serious to changing headers and things like that nature, I feel you would benefit more from an actual tune. Now, my only issue with buying the tune at this point is, I know Bill over there at with Trill Performance, they have done a tune based on the exhaust, based on the intake, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure they've tweaked it pretty well. My only concern is adding, you know, you're only adding 3 inches from the downpipe back, or if you would technically want to say cat back. But going from 3 inches from the header back, I feel like that now manipulates a lot of the air, the ratio going on, and I just feel like you're going to run lean. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I just feel like it could potentially be dangerous by doing that mod without a tune. That's all I'm going to say. I could be completely wrong. The only other option, again, my other issue with the headers is there's no, Silver Turbo has put up no information as far as how well this thing is going to last in terms of hours, you know, hours and time. I mean, we don't know how well they constructed the manifold. We don't know what kind of steel they use. We don't know what kind of welding techniques they have. I mean, you can look at the weld job and say, oh, this looks pretty good. But I don't want to throw that thing on my bike and then 500, 600 miles later, it's cracked. You know, it cracks. Like, that's ridiculous. But you don't know these things until you actually use these things. And I don't really want to be a guinea pig, but I do think that it offers a great, it will offer a great performance boost. That's for sure. So, 27 minutes of me talking shit. If you stayed this long, then you're fucking amazing. Thank you. And I'll catch you in the next video. We're about to go in, get some food, and start on this bike, baby.